What's up, everyone? Welcome to You're Such a Nerd, the Geek Variety podcast, coming at the speed of a disapproving father's glare. Wait, is this me working through my daddy issues, or are we talking about a pantheon of gods? We'll find out together. I'm your host, Johnny Doe. Let's go. Welcome back to the show, everyone. Today we are going to be talking to my buddy Ash, good friend of mine. We'll be covering a little bit about Roman and Greek mythology, the pantheons, just general nerdy stuff. Good friend of mine, so we'll have a nice little chat. Hope you enjoy it. If you're new to the show, we have a Patreon at a very reasonable rate. Just linked in the show notes below wherever you're listening to this. Patreon will get you access to our private Discord, additional episodes of our other shows like Critics Corner and Hobby Hangouts, and also ad-free episodes of the main feed, which is what you're listening to now. Unfortunately, we don't have a lot of control over what the platforms do with inserting very rudely advertisements in the middle of our shows. So it'll get you a chance to get around that. It's just to help offset the costs of running the show itself and to effectively challenge capitalism and, not make you have to listen to advertisements, because man, is it annoying when you go to the gas station and you get really loud ads blasted at you. Anyways, I'm digressing. Feel free to support however you like. Other ways you can support is look for our merch drop. It's going to be coming soon. Like, rate, subscribe, and all of that stuff on the platforms of your choice. Show's entirely guerrilla marketed. Like I was saying, there's no social media presence beyond the Discord. And we just want you to, talk to other people. If you dig the show, share it. If you don't, please don't. And if you got any questions, want to correct me on something that I screwed up, by all means, send us an email at younerdssuck@gmail.com. Also, in the links below. And last but not least, before we get started, if you are so inclined, send me a postcard. The address is also listed below. I'll send you one back. We will be pen pals, just like back in the day. And we'll support the Postal Service. Be humans, get something other than a unsolicited credit application and bills in the mail. What a novel idea. Now, without further ado, here is my conversation with my buddy Ash. Thanks for tuning in. So, we were talking the other day, and you have a deep obsession. Obsession maybe isn't the right word. Deep appreciation.
I do.
For Greek mythology. Greek and Roman, or just Greek?
So, honestly, more Roman than anything. Specifically,
Saucy.
Specifically because I studied Latin for 5 years, so that is where a lot of my knowledge comes from. But
Of your free volition, you studied Latin for 5 years?
I did in high school.
Is that how long it took you to figure out how to spell your name in Latin? Because
No, it was fun. I liked it. So I took French for 9 years, and that was also dumb. Don't know why I did that.
that's a lot. So I had a friend of mine in college. She was Korean. This is relevant to the story.
No.
Some reason I'm mentioning it. This is actually relevant. She, obviously she was fluent in Korean and English, and she was fluent in French, and she was studying Spanish. And I left Spanish because I could take no more Spanish because I sucked at it. And she continued on. And I was like, her name was Anyang, and I was like, Anyang, why do you keep taking languages? Like, what's the deal here? She was saying that she was going to, after that was done, she was going to go study Mandarin, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, that's wildly different. She says, no, but once you learn a couple of languages, they all kind of are the same, assuming they're Latin-based languages, right?
Yeah, they
and
are.
She
And
said that, the Cantonese.
it definitely helped a lot
difficult.
with other languages, even English, a lot of roots and things like that are based off. I was weirdly thinking I was gonna be a lawyer at one point because I loved to argue and be correct. It was gonna help in that regard.
Explains everything.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, it's it is not a useful language in any sense. It is a fun party trick because I can read John Wick's back tattoo, and
Is it accurate?
it is. It's Latin is my favorite is seeing military slogans, and you can tell someone just put it in a Google Translate.
That's like the tattoo nightmare.
Oh God, it drives me nuts. We talked about this a little bit because Latin is such an old language. There's not a lot of words. The vocabulary is significantly smaller than the vocabulary you have for English or even French or Spanish now.
Right. Yeah.
There's a lot of words for different things. So because it was smaller, you get the like, I guess like independence, freedom to kind of decide based off context what you want that word to mean.
Which I think is really cool. So you're explaining it so everyone listening at home or wherever they're listening from can understand what we were talking about. You were explaining to me in the context of written form and poetry specifically, what we were talking about at that point was they basically use like placeholder words effectively, and you can kind of interpret it however you want, because they don't have words that mean
so like
diverse of a
specifically like I have one. The main one that is like super annoying is the word res. So it's res, and it can mean thing. Like in general terms, it means thing, but no one likes to. Even like in English, we're like, don't use thing in like written things. So
Latin was the most woke language because they didn't have pronouns.
Pretty much.
Sweet.
Well, there's pronouns. The words are gender.
Okay.
There is pronouns, but like thing is like an item, and so it's any item you so choose it to be based off the context of the story.
Interesting.
Which is fun. And like, so I have a tattoo and like one of the words in it's malum. So it's like the noun form of bad. And so it's like a badness. But
badness.
It's a badness. But like in the context of the story, when I read it, I thought it meant poison. Like it was like but it can mean a sickness, it can mean a storm. Like it's been used in all of those different contexts because it like a lot of Latin was written for poetry.
Okay.
And so like syntax and like the visual way the like sentences work together was like much more important to Roman poets than it actually like making a lot of sense. So like while there is a word for like a like rainstorm, like malum worked better in this. So they're like, it's the same. People will get it. They'll figure it out. They'll figure it out.
Is there any history there with that I hate when I do that kind of thing. Anyways, that it's was connected to like early like traveling poets and bards and like jesters and stuff like that, because we have a history of as a very verbal storytelling for history, right? Like that's kind of how a lot of our history resided a long time ago in storytelling, which not to jump the shark here, was a concern with AI nowadays actually, but the storytellers, the bards, the minstrels or whatever, they would retell, historical stories or events and stuff like that all the time. And there was always the space of like flourishing, the story and stuff like that.
Embellishment. Not embezzlement.
Not embezzlement. Embellishment. The other thing.
The
thing that the poor people do because they can't embezzle. Is that something that the language intentionally contributed to, or it was a byproduct of, or what?
I don't know for a fact, but I can assume most likely. And like, there's a big school of thought that like Homer, who wrote the Odyssey, was a multiple people. Same kind of like with Shakespeare. Like Homer is kind of like that. The idea of like Shakespeare was a lot of different people, and like they kind of published under the same name. Like Homer either was one guy that took stories from a bunch of different people, or like he just was like a bunch of different people that made a collection of stories. Because like while it goes together, and like there's definitely like one person that like made it flow. Like a lot of the stories are like random.
Sure.
Like there's a bunch of random stuff in there that you're like, this doesn't really need to be here.
Now, is that a byproduct of the writing itself, or is that a byproduct of the language? Because you were saying previously, like when we were talking, that the language, like the order of the syntax isn't necessarily relevant.
Yeah. So I guess I definitely can say like, so I like while I did study, like I'm not by any means a like Latin scholar.
Sure.
But like I do know, for example, like there's like the OG myths, like, the creation of like the birth of Zeus, the, the big ones, Athena and Apollo, like all of those big stories, but they all are like slightly different if you read them by different authors. And I think that has to do mostly by the language of like, based on how you translate it, because it's so vague, or like the words are often like badness, like when people chose to translate it, some people chose to make this word mean this thing. Sometimes they chose this adjective to go with this noun instead of that adjective with a different noun. And it changes like the whole meaning of the sentence. So like there's definitely been, cannot remember the story off the top of my head, but there's one where like Ovid, who's a poet,
Mhm.
wrote a story, and then I think it's also in the Iliad. And based off the verb choice of like the verb was done to this person
Mhm.
in Ovid, but the person was doing that verb in the Iliad. And it like changes the whole context of the story.
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure. I can
Yeah.
see how that would be the case.
Yeah.
So I remember when I was, gosh, I don't know, it was at some point in time when I was in college. I don't remember what it was, but I was talking to somebody about a language, and they were, I think, Latin, and we were talking specifically about Creole and how Creole is a hybridization of a lot of different things, dialects and the various languages. But it's interesting because it's not a written language.
Yeah.
And so there's no like, I mean, it doesn't have a written like.
Yeah. You're talking about like Louisiana, like
Creole,
like
Creole.
French.
Yeah. It's like French, it's Latin, it's got some Spanish in it, it's got a lot of different stuff, and then some dialectical stuff that isn't an actual like language.
Mm-hmm.
And it's interesting because they're like, well, here's a spoken language that people are speaking less and less of
Mm-hmm.
that has no like written record because there's no way to write in Creole, right?
Yeah.
And Latin is kind of the opposite of that, where it's like it's only a written language. Like no one speaks Latin, right? So it's a dead language in a different way.
Yeah.
And it was really interesting because we were drawing those parallels.
I remember being in school and pissing my Latin teacher off so much because of that.
Yeah.
Because like I was taking French at the same time, and there's like a lot of like rules, and there's rules in Latin too. But we'd be like, well, that's a dumb rule, and he's like, well, that's the rule, and I was like, well, it's a dead language. Who's gonna come get us? You know,
the Latin police.
Yeah. Who's gonna tell us we're wrong? Sorry to interrupt, but
no, you're good. I mean, I was just saying that it's interesting to me, like that we continue to study a language that is effectively a dead language. But I guess in Latin it makes sense because it's kind of the root of like most globalized languages. Yeah.
It definitely is the root. I truly think like the reason I liked it was we learned Latin in a very different way than I learned other languages. Like I studied Spanish for like a very short amount of time as well, and like the way. Because speaking it wasn't important. Like so I took 5 years, and that was like the amount of time maybe we could do it. So from 8th grade until I graduated high school, and like the first like year. So
this wasn't even college. This was high school.
This was high school.
God, you are a nerd.
I know.
Okay.
I didn't have any friends.
I'm in Latin class in 8th grade.
I had no friends. It was good. I was also a band kid. Like it wasn't good.
It's all coming
I was a
together
flautist
now.
too. Like
flautist.
I was a flute section leader.
First flute.
I was the first flute. Yeah, it was tough. It was tough when I played piccolo sometimes for marching band. Yeah, it was not a good time for me in high school.
That'll be fun. We're at that trauma.
Yeah, thank you for bringing that up. I'm gonna go sit in a corner for a little bit.
You're welcome. No worries.
Fuck, I forgot.
So you were this was before the band thing. Yes. So you were having 5 years of
yes.
Latin.
Okay. So like the first 2 years was kind of learning vocabulary, kind of like how you do for most languages. But after that, like we went straight into reading like military documents, and tombstones was the big like thing we translated. Because that was because there's also like there's not a lot of written records in Latin.
Yeah.
And so like
I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, so like it's short things, and it usually is like relatively easy language. So tombstones and military documents was kind of what we read my 3rd year of Latin, and then the 4th year we really focused on poetry. And then my last year we translated the Aeneid, like the entire Aeneid from beginning to end. That is what we did the entire school year.
That sounds very boring.
It was a blast.
Okay.
It was a blast because it's also like
you're translating from Latin, or you translate to Latin?
To Latin. So
from English.
No, from Latin to English.
Oh, okay.
So we had the Latin text.
Well, I gotcha. Okay.
And then we like went through it and like.
I was going to say this is like a weird form of like slave labor
like
or something. Yeah, just like it's like child labor, but instead of making shirts, we're going to make you translate something back to original language that's already been translated. And like
you just write like I will not yell in class like 100 times on the board. Yeah, it was really fun, and especially like the way because you were with the same group of people for like 5 years because like. It started with like 20 of us back in like the Latin 1. By the time we were Latin 5, there were like 6 of us because we're all like huge losers.
Not quite Highlander standards, but okay.
But like we're just like sitting in like a very small class, like all looking at the same book and being like what I imagine like Greek and Roman like poetry and plays and probably like even like like political debate happened at the time because we're just like yelling at each other from across and we're like, this word means this thing. This is what it says.
Yeah,
like,
because
no.
there's space for it because of the syntax issue. Yeah, that's
and
that's
like
funny.
pretty much my teacher just like didn't teach the 5th year because we had like had we had the vocab. He had taught us
He's probably the only Latin teacher, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Was he the coach too or something? Like,
no, he was only taught Latin. Then Mr. Harper, OG, loved him.
Only taught Latin?
Only taught Latin.
That's a job. Damn.
Dude, loved him. He was a king.
All right.
But yeah, so like we had an English to Latin dictionary, understood the basic grammatical rules, and he said, "Go forth and conquer, my friends." And so he would just like sit, hang out, and we'd all be like ready to go to war.
The joys of youth.
Yeah,
the energy to fight.
Yeah, it was a blast. Like we had so much fun, being able to like go through all that, and like the stories are just cool. And then like a lot of times, like there's a lot of like one of the things I like about it so much as well is just like their ability to explain things.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's like the OG, you know, they explain like the creation of the world, but then they also are like, this is why you hear echoes. Then there's like a long, in-depth, and relatively beautiful story about like how that exists now. And it was just like so fun to think back at that time and be like, they just like had to believe this was all magic. They didn't.
There's a story about everything basically. Everything. Every origin was some sort of like magical. Yeah.
Like one of my favorites ever is like the one I have a tattoo of, and the entire basis of the story is pretty much like why mulberries are that color. And like the reason that story like fucks me up a wall, it just like blows my mind. It is one of the only stories that never exists again. Like a lot of these are like retold a couple different ways by different artists. These 2 characters also never exist again. They're never mentioned. It's in the Metamorphosis by Ovid. It's a poem called Pyramus and Thisbe. And it's like an OG Romeo and Juliet. We talked about it a little bit. Really good. Really cool. But Pyramus...
Shakespeare ain't got nothing on Ovid.
Ovid.
Ovid's whatever. Sorry.
My king.
My bad.
Dude, he was wild. If you want to read some crazy... Catullus is another really good poet. He was wildin'. Like, he was just like hypersexual and just like a bi king.
Sick.
But like, it was definitely like, hey, if you don't love me back, I'm gonna castrate you. And it's like in a poem that he wrote, and it's like very intense.
This is before we diagnosed borderline disorder.
Oh yeah, and like the reason I like Ovid so much is pretty much he wrote the thing called the Metamorphosis, and at the time like Catholicism and family values were kind of like a big thing in Rome, and they were like, hey, don't, because like the Metamorphosis was very much like why leaves change colors and caterpillars turn into butterflies and how the world is made. And everyone's like, it's God. Don't
fuck with it.
Don't write that. And he said, how about I do it anyway? And then they banished him to a cave in Greece till he died. And he like went slowly crazy. And he wrote a bunch of love poems called the Amores. And then died.
What a way to go.
Wild.
Just going to go out writing love stories.
Yeah. I mean, and it's like, some of them are nuts.
So how did you get from 5 years of Latin to all hail Odin and Ares and, you know, Mars?
What do you mean? Sorry.
Because you're really into like the mythology too, right? Is it through the translation of the storytelling?
It's a huge part of it. Yeah, because again, it's all like there's not just like I'm not speaking it to you,
right? So
like I don't need to know conversational French or like the same way I need to be able to speak Spanish or Mandarin. Like it's all just like old stories.
That's cool.
It's really fun. Like,
I remember
it's a blast.
Growing up, I was wildly fascinated with Greek and Roman mythology. Like when I'd go to the library, because that's what we did back in my day, kids.
All right,
I went to the library or the internet.
We got here walked uphill both ways.
The wwws. And
I mean, you did have a microfiche?
Microfiche. It's a weird word, microfiche.
I love it.
I also like onomatopoeia.
Yeah, it tickles my brain in like the right way.
Onomatopoeia. Sorry, that's some sitting. And I would go and I'd get these books, right? I would go and I would get any book on like medieval stuff. Like I would always get all the books with all like the swords and the like all the weaponry and crap in it. I'd read it all about it. And I like all the mythology stuff. I read all of them. You know, it was cool. It was like, and Greek and Roman mythology was always like cooler than like the German fairy tales.
Oh,
you know, like the fairy tales were like okay, but like
the
Greek and Roman stuff was rad.
It's so rad. And this is one of the things I think like that resonated with me so much is I am I like identify as atheist. Like I do not really believe in any kind of like higher being. But if I was gonna, I think they would be deeply flawed individuals.
Mm-hmm.
I think I have such.
I thought you were gonna be like, if I did, it would be a guy who threw lightning bolts.
Yeah, if I did, it was gonna be like
lightning bolt.
it was gonna be a bunch of crazy hot chicks. Like I don't know what to tell you. But in reality, like the thing I think I resonated with was the fact that like they are like the thing that is entertaining about like Greek and Roman mythology specifically is they are just like the Kardashians. Like in complete honesty, it is one family. It's like Star Wars. It's one family fucking up the whole galaxy, just like all the time. And they are deeply flawed like individuals. And like they, you know, get jealous, they get mad, they make mistakes, they do really bad shit, but some of them do really good shit. Like there's sacrifice, like Prometheus, who like has this feelings of like wanting to help and then he's punished for it. Like there's so much like things in that are so interesting and make them seem like real, like relatable gods in a way that I have such a hard time, especially with monotheistic religions, or like even like
I don't know. I resonate with
Hindu.
The Dark Lord.
Yeah, like there's just like a lot of them, like these all powerful beings. Yeah. And while I have such a hard time, especially with like the like benevolent, like all powerful but all good, and you're like, that doesn't make any sense. And my like logical tism brain, where I'm like, well, we have kids starving, so obviously you're not
walking down the math of
so either you're not all powerful, or you're not all good, and then you have like, you know, Greek mythology where like Zeus turns himself into a goose so he can fuck some chick, and then Hera turns her into a goose because she's mad about it, and you're like, this is just like the most aggressive drama, and like it's so dumb. Like some of their shit.
Term, you silly goose came from. You silly goose.
Yeah, like man. He like Zeus turned himself into a bull, and then like had some chick get on, like she started riding him and rode into the ocean. And you're like, or he literally turned himself into a golden shower at one point, like a shower of gold.
Not a golden shower.
It's a golden shower. It's a shower of gold that he turned himself into and then impregnated some chick.
I'm definitely gonna make this one age restricted episode. That's cool.
Yeah, which is awesome because like I read that in high school.
Yeah,
like we read.
No, totally same. Like I mean, I was reading like the Greek mythology stuff. Yeah, like
my teacher let us translate that. Like and all of us were like, "Is
this bestiality happening right now?"
Yeah, we're like all reading it, and we're all like, we're like 17. Yeah, we're like 17, and we're like, "Is that like it's the color?" And then it's like water, and we're like all looking at each other, and we're like, "Do we?"
Is this what I think it is?
Yeah, is this what I think? Is this what it says? And he's like, "Go ahead."
What's happening?
One of our favorite things was a picture of Hercules, and he said that there was a small loincloth strategically placed to cover the naughty bits, and that was just like the theme of Latin was just like strategically placed to cover the naughty bits.
Yeah. Hey, I watched Spartacus. Well, no, Spartacus.
300.
No, Spartacus.
Spartacus.
Yeah, the Spartacus. Yeah, like the HBO or Cinemax, Showtime. Who did that show? It was really good, but a lot of just like dongs and
just dongs
and stuff. Just everywhere,
full frontal constantly.
But kudos to them for actually like, you know, balancing the fucking checkbook. I mean, it's not saying that like there's equality in crotch shots now in the world, but I mean, there's a lot more. I'm always down for more.
Apparently, the new Guinness show on Netflix,
like the beer.
Yeah, there's like a show on Netflix called Guinness, and it's about like the start of like that family in Germany.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and apparently there's like full penis.
Sweet.
Like full.
How's that again?
Penis.
Say that word again.
Penis.
What? What the? Yeah. Say D-O-N-G. How do you pronounce D-O-N-G?
No.
Okay, you said that right at least. Okay. Yeah, that's that. I don't even know what to do with that one.
We're gonna need like a 2-minute break.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, a little peen.
Shouldn't it be pain the way you say it? Not peen.
Peen. It's a little peen. It's a little, you know.
Yeah, that's good. That's a new one to me. I've heard a lot of people say things different ways. That takes the cake.
You know, that's really what
takes the cock.
Oh, there we go. That's what I try to do. That was a good one. Thank you for that.
Yep.
Thank you.
No, thank you. That's going down in the.
Yeah. I don't even think I say it that way. This happens to me a lot in my life, where apparently I say things like incorrectly, and I don't think it's incorrect.
How do you say the thing that's on the front of your face, up by your hairline, like it's between your eyebrows and your hair?
My forehead?
Yeah.
Forehead.
Yeah. So I said forehead for the longest time.
Oh, that's a tough one.
Literally until I was like in my 30s and someone like busted my balls about it. And they're
Yeah.
like, what are you saying? I'm like, forehead. Use your forehead. They're like, it's your forehead. I'm like, forehead? Like, no number 4? And they're like, FORE, forehead? Like the front? I'm like,
Yeah.
Forehead.
My big one is I say caterpillar. Like I switch the L's and the T's.
oh, and caterpillar?
Yeah. I say
Oh,
caterpillar. And I think that's better. And I refuse to say it any other way.
Caterpillar?
They absolutely
Well, it's
pitter.
because you're a cat person. That makes sense.
They pitter.
Yeah, they probably do.
They pitter. I think caterpillar.
I was thinking millipedes are like,
I also treadmill. I say
Treadmeal?
I said treadmill,
oh,
not
that's-
treadmill.
It'd be cool if you said treadmill, mule.
Mule.
Treadmule.
Treadmill.
Someone said, oh, pin.
Like open?
No, pin. No, like a pin.
Like a pen?
Yeah. Put
Like a
pen in
write?
it.
The writing utensil?
Yeah, and pen.
Pen.
And someone was like, no, it's pen and pin. And I'm like, that's the same thing. And
Mhm.
they're like, no, it's pin and pen. And I'm like, you're saying the same word. And they're like, no, I'm not.
Oh. This
Because
happened.
there's a pin, P-I-N,
Yeah.
and a P-E-N, a pen. Apparently, it's all pen to me.
This is this is in a similar way, but you know the water, like the flavored water Hint?
No.
The Hint waters?
Mm-mm.
Well, this ruins everything.
I remember not Canada Dry, was it? Oh, God, what was that old bubbling water from like the late 90s that tried to take off and then no one cared about bubbling water because they thought it was stupid, and now everyone drinks bubbling
I
water.
hate bubbling water.
It was Canada something. Canada?
I have no idea. Either way.
Anyways, doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
It's good radio.
So, Hint water, for some reason, in my brain, the word, like the number 8 in French is nuit. It's N-U-I-T.
Okay.
And for some reason, I consistently saw the Hint waters, like the font they used.
Mhm.
I thought it was
Like
nuit.
French.
Yeah, I thought it was like the number 8 in French. And so I was like, I like made a whole backstory in my head of like, it's called that because there's 8 vitamins and minerals in it. Like I made like a whole thing that I don't know how I did. And I remember walking around a store with somebody and like said this. And they were like, excuse me? And I was like putting their like Hint water. I was like, those aren't even the right letters. I don't know how I got, but I like only saw, like it's not
They're
the,
like, I was Samsonite. It was on there the whole time. I was way off.
yeah, I was like, what the hell? But that was one of those moments where I was just like, and I like convinced, and I had like the whole thing where I was like, I was convinced that it was like, I had seen a commercial that told me it had 8 vitamins and
amazing.
minerals in it.
Do you
And 8's like not a lot.
tell? No, it's not actually. But for water, I mean, maybe it's a thing. Do you make stories up about stuff all the time?
Constantly.
Yeah, that's like a TISM thing, isn't it? I
Probably.
think it is. I do it all the fucking time. Like everything has a story. I'm also anthropomorphize everything too. Like
Oh,
everything.
yeah.
I see it with my kid. Like everything has feelings.
Oh,
She's so considerate of everybody's feelings. Everything's feelings. Like, and I'm
Everything's
always like, she's like waving goodbye to the pillow. I'm like, oh, it's yep.
Yeah, you
it's-
have to.
I feel you. Mm-hmm.
I think, yeah. I mean, there's definitely a part of my life that like I'm actively trying to like be better at this because I think it's like become a character flaw where because I make up stories so much, I like will have convinced myself I've done something or know something that I don't actually know.
100%,
And so like we'll be talking about something and I'll be like talking about something with my boyfriend or whatever. And I'll be like, yeah, I know. Or like he'll be like, have you ever done this? And I go, yeah. And I go, wait, no.
No,
And I
yeah,
have to
know.
like correct myself and be like, I have
Hold on.
not done that.
Let me roll that one back.
Yeah, I've just like convinced myself that I have because I have like baseline knowledge about it and I'm like completely wrong.
It's called being a pathological liar.
Yeah, it checks out too. So it's called having multiple personalities.
It's great. It's great. It comes in handy. I definitely did that at some point in time.
Yeah, I was like, probably.
Yeah.
I don't know. Who's to say?
Who's
There's
to
so
say?
much life I've
What is
lived.
it? What is it to do anything, anyways?
Yeah.
To be, to feel, to
Yeah, they're
exist.
like-
How do we even know what we know?
Yeah, I was
Can
like,
it be
I don't know.
known to know?
I was like, I don't know. I black out half the time. You can't ask me to be responsible for what I did a year
Not
ago.
from alcohol. I just randomly black out.
Yeah, it's just my life.
Yeah.
I just
I'm
turned-
gonna just
turned
phase
into a
that
werewolf.
part of my life out.
I'm a werewolf once a month. I don't know what
do
I
you
did.
think
with it.
lycanthropy would be diagnosed as multiple personality disorder nowadays?
Say the first word again.
Lycanthropy?
Don't know.
What? Lycanthropy.
Mm.
If I keep saying it, does it help? Lycanthropy? A were creature, like werewolves, werebears, werewolves, owl bears. I don't know.
There's anything.
Were
other than-
rats.
Is anything other than a werewolf?
No, like lycanthropy. It's the disease that makes someone a were creature.
Excuse me.
Oh my god.
What?
Do you not know about lycanthropy?
I don't know how to make it more clear that I do not know what this is.
I'm just a little shocked. Have you never? It doesn't matter. Anyways, okay. So lycanthropy, right, is the disease that traditionally in stories has turned people into werewolves, but it is also like in like fantasy gaming and genres and stuff like that, still used as the same disease that causes a creature, a human being, to be a were creature, meaning like were rat, a were
But this is a real thing.
bear. Yeah. Well, I mean, not in the real world.
Okay, that's what I'm confused about. I thought you were telling me it's like a real disease.
Oh, geez, no.
That's what I was like, because sometimes people have talked about like vampirism is like a real thing where people like
That's another word, vampirism.
vampirism. Thank you.
Yeah.
But like, where people are like anemic or like they, you know, or
Yeah, they're not vampires.
albino. But like
They just drink people's blood because they're weird.
well, yeah, cults. You know,
It's some iron and it's iron deficiency. It's a great way to get it.
Yeah, I mean, just eat some broccoli, my man.
I mean, yeah, but don't steam it because then you ruin it.
Really?
Yeah, because once you steam the vegetables, you lose all of the
What if I go like
nutrients.
cook it? If I like oven it.
Roast keep it al dente.
Okay.
The closer like to raw that you can get it, the better. Stop making that face. The better the vitamin content. Oh,
this is a terrible ad. This is a terrible ad for condoms.
Anyways, lycanthropy. So all I was asking, I don't know how we got to this point, but all I was asking was, do you think, I finally know why I was asking that question now, that lycanthropy would be multiple personality disorder nowadays? How did I get to that point? I don't know.
I don't remember.
Doesn't matter. It's irrelevant.
We were talking about more personality. That doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I don't know. I've never heard of that. I mean, to be fair, I don't read a lot of fantasy books or like do a lot of.
How do you not read fantasy books if you came up liking like the whole mythos of Greek and Roman? Because I feel like that laid the groundwork. That and fairy tales, all right? I mean,
dude, I'm gonna be so honest with you. I totally view mythology and like fantasy as different things.
I mean,
like,
they are.
Yeah.
They are. But what I'm saying is, I feel like from a narrative perspective, from a storytelling perspective, those things laid the early groundwork.
Yeah.
For like, because I mean, all of the struggles of like omnipotent beings and the things you talk about like, you know, God's, you know, taking mortal form and like the influence that they have and prophecies and like all of that kind of crap, you know, magical weapons and all that kinds of stuff. Like that's all stuff that was drawn and put into like fantasy and, you know, and then you fast forward it and turn into laser guns and science fiction.
Yeah, I was gonna say I like science fiction, but I never got into like I read Harry Potter and
okay, I mean
that's like, you know, classic. I mean, obviously I read Percy Jackson because but no, like I never was a Twilight girl, never have continued to read any more like any kind of fantasy books like that. I was a big Alex Rider series, if you've ever read that. The Alex Rider, the like voice teenage spy. Yeah. And then Ender's Game was my big ones.
Oh wow. And amidst all of this, I like how you referred to Twilight as fantasy and you never even mentioned Lord of the Rings.
I didn't read Lord of the Rings. I've seen the movies, but I have not actually read them. I know. I agree.
What other movies have you seen that were like prominent books, like series?
All of them, probably.
What do you think? Have you watched a series and then read the books or vice versa?
Yeah, 100%.
Which do you think that?
So I think the reason I started reading Ender's Game was because I saw the commercial for the movie that was about to come out.
Oh my god!
And I was with my dad, and my dad was like, "That's a fantastic book." And I was like, "I don't know, it's a fantastic series." There's 14 books in the series. I don't know.
It gets weird. It gets weird though. It's kind of like Dune. It starts getting weird.
Yeah.
You can tell the drugs take over.
Yeah. Well, Orson Scott Card was also like a.
Oh yeah.
You know, not great. I can't think. So one of the other ones is I really want to read. I want to read Game of Thrones. I haven't actually read it yet. But I can't watch the show.
I'm up for neither of those. So I never read the books. I tried to read. I tried to go back and read the books because everyone when I dropped the series and everyone was like, "Hey, the series is not as you need to read the books."
Yeah.
And I couldn't do it. Like I got like halfway through the first chapter and I'm like, "This is literally scene for scene the same. I can't do it. Like I'm not interested." Because I didn't like it that much to begin with. Like, I mean, it was fine.
Yeah.
The show was, but like...
I can't watch the show.
I never finished it. Like, I dropped out somewhere halfway through it.
We're going to get, like, canceled so hard.
Oh, yeah. They're going to be like, you never watched a Red
You have a nerd podcast, but
you've never read
Game of Thrones?
Lord of the Rings.
I have not.
Yeah.
I can admit that.
I mean, that's a thing to admit. You can't admit it. Yep.
I can, yeah.
But it sounds like your bit was more science fiction.
It was.
Which is interesting if you came in from the mythology perspective.
So I liked superhero stuff a lot. Like I'm a big comic book nerd.
Okay.
So I grew up. My dad and me had a lot of comics. I've been to a shit ton of Comic Cons. Like we at one point when I was like 7, 8, like went through my dad's like we like re-bagged and like put backing in like every single one of his like 1,500 comics.
Brad.
It was awesome.
I bet that was cool.
It was super fun, and like that's when I started getting really into it. So I was very into like that kind of story as well. So I think that led more into sci-fi than it did fantasy. And maybe I'm wrong with that, but In my brain, it tracks that way a little bit more.
So I grew up in comic books as well.
Yeah.
I love comic books. I have like a couple of trades now, but I have like no actual comic books in my collection.
Really? I have a whole
Yeah,
box of
downsized. I've downsized so many times in my life between moves and stuff like that. And I'm too much of a minimalist. I'm kind of at the stage of my life now where I'm starting to like find things from my childhood that I no longer have. And I think this is a thing that happens with people around my age, because I've talked to other people who are doing the same thing, where they kind of go back and they try to find that nostalgia. Like it happened with those D&D trading cards up there and the books right here. I went into a comic shop, actually, coincidentally, to go find a comic book, because one of the people at my local coffee shop is a big like Green Lantern like nerd. And like I don't really know anything about Green Lantern.
Love Green Lantern.
I was never a DC person. I was a Marvel and
I'm a
Image
DC girl.
like person
100%.
hard. That tracks. Anyways, and I went in there looking for that, and just happened to cruise by this little tiny stand they had of like gaming stuff, right? And obviously I like games. And I saw those, like, oh, you freaking kidding me? Really? I had those things when I was a kid. And so I'm like, I'm buying them. And then they had these, original prints of the Oriental Adventures and the Dragonlance stuff. So I was like, well, I'm getting that because I had that when I was a kid too.
I definitely. So we have I have a signed copy from Stan Lee of Hulk 181, which is the first appearance of Wolverine.
Mm-hmm.
And I have
like you have that?
I have it.
And it's signed by Stan Lee?
It is. I met him. There is a incredible video. So
have you priced that comic book?
Not yet, but it was graded at like an 8.6, so it was like pretty new. It's pretty like good condition, and we took it and got signed, which actually ironically makes the grade go down. So it's signed.
Yeah, but like Stanley's dead.
Agreed. I am aware. But my sister and
I'm still trying to wrap my head around the fact that you have like the first appearance of Wolverine.
I do.
Signed by Stan Lee.
Correct. But I got it signed by him like when I was alive. My dad, it was my dad's comic, and we found it in. Stan Lee and he also had the first Iron Man.
Okay.
And me, my sister, and my dad went to Comic-Con, got tickets, waited
Robert
in line.
Downey Jr. signed it.
No, Stan Lee signed it.
Better, arguably, than Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, and so we're like, we waited in line. There's also a very funny video my dad likes to show, because we're probably like 12 maybe. And we're talking big game before we get up there. We're like, we're gonna shake his hand, tell him like how much we love the stuff, like I'm gonna tell him all about it, blah, 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 blah. And then we get up there and like both of us are just like, Ellie doesn't say a word the whole time, my sister, and then I'm just like, hi. And he signs both of our comics, and we have them like full sealed now. After that happened,
for sure.
Yeah, so that's
okay.
That's
so
a like
your comic flex just beat anything I could bring out. I had a bunch of ones and a bunch of. I was there for when Jim Lee and Claremont and those guys left, and Image became a thing, and Valiant and blah blah blah.
Yeah, I have a couple.
That's great.
Hulk, the first Iron Man and Hulk 181 is definitely like probably the most important ones. I have a very early Black Panther, which I think is probably worth a little bit more now after the movie came out. And then I was like really into The Question. If you ever, he's like a very minor DC character.
He's like a B version of the Riddler.
No, that's hilarious though. No, he kind of is like Rorschach, maybe.
Okay.
Like,
yes,
he doesn't have a face.
Yep.
Yeah, and he's like a detective.
Yeah.
And he's insane.
Yep.
And I love him. And I was like, so I have like all his comics out, and like they weren't expensive when I got into him because like no one gives a fuck about him. But like I have his comics, and then he was like such a funny minor character in like Justice League Unlimited or whatever, the animated series. Yeah, he's in that every once in a while. Like the few episodes he's in, crazy dude.
Awesome.
Love him.
Okay, so you're a DC fan.
Big DC fan,
okay.
Yeah.
Why did you get the Marvel comics? You got them because of your dad?
Yeah.
Okay. So what's your go-to with DC?
I'm a Bat fam girl.
I mean, you gotta be.
Yeah, but I like
the best character that
Jason Todd is also like my favorite. Love Jason Todd. They finally did the first live action Jason Todd.
I'll be honest, I don't know who Jason Todd is.
He is the Red Hood.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah.
He's the one that he gets beat to death by the Joker with a crowbar and then comes back to life, and is an anti-hero. Hot. He's hot.
What's his name? Robin. Robin was a Red Hood for a while, wasn't he?
So
no, he's Nightwing. He was Nightwing.
Yeah. So first Robin was Dick Grayson, and he becomes Nightwing, and then he's like Batman for like a short period of time when Bruce like disappears.
And he couldn't handle it.
Yeah. And then he goes back to being Nightwing, and then Jason Todd's the second one, and then he dies, comes back.
Second Nightwing.
Second Robin.
Oh, second Robin.
So
okay. But he was Robin.
Yes, he was Robin.
Okay, that's
he
what
was
I thought.
he was Robin,
That's what I was
and
getting at
then
with all that nonsense.
yeah, and then if you like, I can't remember the exact order after those two, but you have Stephanie Brown, who was a Robin for a while. You have Cassandra, who was a Robin. Then you have Duke. He was one for a little bit. Like there's a lot of Robins at this.
There's Chad.
Yeah,
no one liked
Brian.
Chad was real short lived.
Jessica.
He was such a Chad.
Jessica did not last long.
Just a real Karen.
Yeah, that stuff. I think it's a Carrie. The redhead. There's a redhead Carrie.
So,
I think it's one of the most recent ones.
When Batman had his back broken by Bane,
Sick.
Azrael took over for a while. Do you remember Azrael? He had the armored Batman suit with the knives that came out.
Yeah.
And he like was murdering people.
Love.
and then Bruce Wayne had to come back and be like,
"Hey, we don't do that.
this.
Yeah, we don't kill people."
My
I was
body's
like,
broken, but we don't do this.
Dude,
It's great. I loved it.
One of my biggest angers in this life will continue to be how they portrayed Bane in the Dark Knight series.
Yeah, it was a little disappointing.
First of all, they didn't include Venom at all, which is like Bane's whole fucking thing.
Yeah,
like that was not it. And then they had him talk like first of all, Bane's Brazilian, and then they had him go, "I drive in the dark,"
yeah,
and I was like, "What is that?"
Well, and that was what's
Mad.
No, the
forever.
actor. Who's the actor that played him? It was
Tom Hardy.
Yeah, Tom Hardy.
And I love Tom Hardy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but heartbroken about that.
How do you feel about the Venom movies?
Love Tom Hardy.
Did you see Venom 3?
No.
Oof.
I've only seen the first one, honestly. It was funny. Like I enjoyed watching it as like a funny movie, but it was not something I needed to continue.
Yeah, they did an interesting take with Venom. I think they went the right direction, with the current era of Marvel.
I think they're trying to do a Guardians of the Galaxy type of like.
Well, I think the problem is that
funny.
after Guardians, like that's what they've tried to do with almost everything. I mean,
even the new Thor was like that, and you're like, it was really good for Guardians of the Galaxy, but it doesn't need to be.
They went a little too well. I mean, they have beaten us over the head with superhero movies for the last 20 years. So,
dude, I'm such a big superhero fan, and like I think I haven't watched like any new superhero movie in probably like 4 years.
Yeah,
like I just like
I
gave
felt like
up.
it was Star Wars too, right? Like the Star Wars series and everything. Like I watched, Andor was great, but like Andor was incredible.
The Mandalorian was good for the first 2 seasons.
Yeah, the first 2 were okay. Yeah, were good. But I still hold that Andor is probably the best Star Wars show that exists.
Clone Wars?
No, Andor.
I know, but Clone Wars?
You talking about the animated series?
Yeah. That's a good one.
I mean, it is. I would put that probably up there, maybe second.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great show.
But Andor's like, the great thing about Andor though is it's a Star Wars IP that doesn't need Star Wars.
Yeah.
You could literally strip Star Wars off it and it would still be a great show.
Yeah.
And everything else is much more, I think, steeped in the IP and than that one. But I also have in the Warhammer 40K Games Workshop world, it's a space thing in the 41st millennium. There is only war. And it's all about, the bulk of it is about these giant space marines and giant armor that are like, children of the God Emperor and also the bullshit, right? And they're super genetically modified, like metahumans, right? But the 2 stories that are the most compelling to me out of that entire like extensive universe of stuff that has been written for like 30 plus years is 2 Inquisitor series, Ravener and Eisenhorn, which are about these 2 Inquisitors, which are like these like quasi-psychic religious zealot leader guys, but they're just like normal ass people with other normal ass people, and nothing they do deals with like the Marine crap really. Like it's all like cloak and dagger, like stab you in the back, like dystopian shit.
That's
fun. It's really, really good. Which is probably why I've been reading a lot of William Gibson lately. He's the one who wrote Neuromancer.
Got it.
I just finished Burning Chrome, which is a series of his short stories, and I didn't realize that Johnny Mnemonic. You know Johnny Mnemonic? Yeah, Keanu Reeves played in it back in the day in the movie. That was actually a short story by William Gibson. I didn't know it until I was reading it. And I was like, wait a second.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, slightly different, but it's like pretty much it's pretty close. So, yeah. Probably explains my love for shitty sci-fi and
dude, talking about
sword and
shitty
sorcery
sci-fi,
movies.
Did you ever read the Animorphs?
I didn't read it, but I'm familiar with it, yes. I saw it.
Dude, the Animorphs was wild. I remember I read all of them. I remember like reading like some fucking tweet or something at one point.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, do you remember the genocide in the Animorphs? I was like, excuse me? And so I kind of like went back and like, yeah, like there was like a lot of like really bad stuff that happened to like children in those books. And they're like, for preteens.
Yeah. Now, if you look back at like the 80s and the 90s, especially like the stuff that was coming out, I go back and I've rewatched some of it just for like nostalgia's sake, and I'll be like, man, you could not do that today. Like, this would not fly, and I'm like, God, my parents let me watch this crap.
Yeah.
Like, I am shocked.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, the Animorphs was brutal.
Yeah.
Especially the later ones, like the one that like went crazy. I think her name's Stephanie or something like that. And she like went crazy and like committed a whole genocide.
Like Garbage Pail Kids. Did you ever see the Garbage Pail Kids?
Oh yes.
And watch them and man,
or
like,
the Boxcar Kids were the other ones. The train, they were on the train.
Oh, okay.
The Boxcar Kids.
Yeah, I know that one.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, anyways, this is disturbing crap.
Yeah.
So I was recently listening to this podcast that they went over like crappy films,
Mm-hmm.
from the 80s and 90s and stuff. And they talk about whether it's good or not. And they did the Garbage Pail Kids, and I was like, man, I don't think I've ever watched that movie. So I found it, I watched it, but I got like halfway through it, and I was like, I can't. I gotta turn this shit off.
Really?
It's so bad. Yeah, it's so bad.
Oh, like bad, like hard to watch, or bad, like just like quality bad.
Yes, to both of those.
Correct.
Yeah,
Got it.
like I don't know. It was just bad. I don't know how to put it. It was just terrible. If you want to waste an hour and a half of your life, watch the Garbage Pail Kids movie. It's an experience to behold. Let's put it that way. Just creepy. Oh, it's weird. It's a weird fucking movie. So, but the Garbage Pail Kids were weird anyways. I don't know.
Oh God, this is nostalgia, memory lane. I'm like,
yeah.
I'm gonna sit here in silence for the next 20 minutes.
Well, going back to the comic thing. So one of the things I was thinking was I had a buddy of mine. He was a editor for. He wrote a lot too for Marvel for a long time.
Really?
He went over to IDW, and then he's doing his own thing now. But when I was leaving New York, I was asking him because I didn't think I'd see him again.
Mm-hmm.
Ironically, he ended up out where I ended up like 2 years after I got out there.
Mm-hmm.
But I asked him, I said, hey man, you ever sign people's comics? He's like, yeah, I sign comics all the time. I was like, if you could sign any comic, what would it be?
Oh.
And he's like, of my own? I was like, no, just any comic in the world. He's like, oh, I don't know, Action Comics #1. And I was like, sweet. And I came back the following week. Obviously, I did not actually get Action Comics. That's the Superman's first, right? From like 30-something or 40-something.
Mm-hmm.
I'm probably totally wrong, and everyone's like screaming at the microphone right now or at the speaker. No, you moron! It was 19. Actually, it was 1957 in the summer in June. And by all means, correct me. I appreciate it, listeners. But anyway, so I got.
I don't want to know.
You're like, no, I don't want to. I don't care when Action Comics was actually. No, so I got a reprint of Action Comics #1, and I showed up the following week, which like a day or two before I left the city.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, hey man, can you sign my comic? And he's like, yeah, sure. And I pulled out, and he just lost it. He started laughing so hard. And he was like, are you serious? I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, don't worry, it's a reprint. It's not original. He's like, I assumed it wasn't original. And he's like, but you really want me to sign this? And I was like, yeah. He's like, I feel wrong doing this. Like, this is
it's
not right.
his art.
And he's like, but I kind of love it. I'm like, yeah. So I still have it. That's the one awesome comic I still have is a signed copy of.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Action Comics #1.
Yeah, those are like when you get something that cool, it's like, you're like, I don't want to sell this. Like, I know it would be worth a lot of money.
Yeah.
But like, it means too much.
Well, yeah, I mean, especially I think for you too, right? Because like you got the comics thing from your dad and everything, right? So there's like a nostalgia there, and there's like a familial tie. And as someone who has sold off or given away a lot of things over the years, as you know, gamers tend to collect a lot of shit. Don't look at my wall of shame behind me. Models.
I don't see it. I don't see a thing.
I don't see stacks and stacks of models behind me. I've learned that there is a time and a place for the value and the association of something and what it means and gives to you. It doesn't, because part of my mental spiciness is like, for a long time I never like allowed myself to like have joy in things, right? And for various reasons, which I will not get into because it will get very dark and depressing in this podcast. But hey,
this episode's already going to be like age restricted.
Years of therapy is for. Get therapy, everyone. If you can afford it, please do. And if you can't, find BetterHelp. Brought to you, right. Sponsored by BetterHelp. Actually, I don't know. ZocDoc, maybe. I don't know. Just find somebody to talk to that's
It's like
licensed.
yell out
and-
your window.
Yeah, that's licensed. I will say that's licensed.
Mhm.
And something I've been going through recently is this kind of transition in my life of the ability to enjoy things simply to enjoy it, not because it has to be utilitarian.
Oh,
right? It
we've
doesn't have
talked
to.
about
Yeah, we
that.
have. Yeah, it's got to have a purpose. And so my wife actually got me on this one because she was like, she likes these things. Like, I have no room to say this because I literally have a wall of miniatures behind me. But like, she likes these things of like it'll be like a coffee cup, or it'll be like I don't know, like a fucking little tiny stuffed bee or something. I don't know. Like it could be anything, right?
Yeah.
Anything. And I'll always be like, why are you getting that? Just because in my head, I didn't see a purpose for it, right?
Mhm.
It was like, it wasn't, or if it was functional and it was a coffee cup, it's like, you've got 13 other coffee cups. Why do you need another coffee cup?
Does it spark joy?
Right. Exactly.
Marie Kondo.
Yeah. And she says, I don't know. And she told me one day, because I asked her about it, and she goes, I don't know. Like, you ever just look at something and it makes you smile and happy? I was like,
No, I'm dead inside.
no. And she's like, that's why I like these things. She's like, I don't know. They just make me happy when I look at them. And I like to look at them. And I was like, so like, she'll like have like little things like here and there, and it's not like, she's not like a hoarder or anything like that. I don't mean that at all. But she's very tasteful and very artistic. But like, and then I was like, fuck, let me try that.
Yeah.
And then I started realizing, I'm like, oh yeah, sometimes you find a thing that just makes you happy for the sake of it. Just, I don't know, brings you joy for some reason, right? And I'm like, and I'm learning that is enough of a reason to have a thing, right? And to retain it, because it doesn't have to be about the dollar value of the comic. It can just be like,
cool story.
Yeah, cool story.
Gosh, I am having this with my boyfriend right now with art specifically, as I where he wants things to be like very like artistic and like aesthetically pleasing. I'm like, I have this picture of a cat pooping and reading a newspaper, and it is very important to me that it is by the cat's litter box. Because it makes me laugh. Like, it is so funny. And I was like, we are fun people. We're not having some ugly ass triptych on the wall just because it looks tasteful. We are fun people. I want to put a picture of George Washington in our bathroom, and he's on it with me on that one, so we're down for that. Do you know that story? I see your face. I don't think you know that story.
I don't know the story, but I'm wondering, are we going to get in trouble if he listens to this episode? Have you had this conversation with him first? Is the question I have.
The George Washington thing?
Any of these conversations? Yes.
Oh, for sure.
Okay, cool. Then we're good. Roll with it.
He's such a good sport.
Okay. Send it. Full send.
No, so the George Washington.
Dubs.
The George Washington thing. Fuck, I need to like look up this dude's name before I finish telling the story.
Chad.
No, I think his name's something Hunt.
Chad Hunt.
Not Chad. Hold on. Continue to talk to me while I look at this.
Initials C Hunt.
Mm.
Chunt, unless you go RC.
Chunt's
worse than a chode, which is twice as bad as a Chad on the scale of Chuch.
Ethan Allen. There we go.
Oh, like the designer?
No, like the historical figure.
Oh, okay.
Like
so it's an Ethan Allen print?
Like
I don't understand.
The Revolutionary
Goes from a crappy
War.
furniture store?
Yeah, the Revolutionary. I'm going to butcher this story. So.
By all means, butcher away.
Which is the like vast amount of topics we've had. Hopefully there's just like no one in here that also knows about comics and Greek mythology and Ethan Allen from the Revolutionary War. But if they do, we're going to be friends. But there's
I'll fact check you.
Pretty much there's this story of Ethan Allen was a American soldier, and he was captured by the British, I believe. And
this is American Revolution?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
And
about said Civil War. I want to know what side, but it's fine.
No, George Washington was alive.
Oh, I mean, fair. Duh.
Well,
history should probably. We don't pay attention to history anymore. Anyways, that's another topic altogether. Continue.
I mean, I think George Washington was alive. I don't know. Doesn't matter. There's a picture.
It involves a picture of G-Dubs.
It involves a picture, so like maybe. Either way, doesn't matter. I'm so sorry for this historical inaccuracies, but it pretty much.
Someone in the Patreon will correct
he
it.
was captured by the British, and long story short, they like they put a picture of George Washington in the outhouse and like kind of waited for Ethan Allen to go to the bathroom because they thought he was gonna like freak out. Okay. Right? Goes to the bathroom, comes back, doesn't say a word, and they're all kind of like sitting there like, waiting.
Yeah, wait for the joke. Yeah,
waiting for him to be pissed.
Yeah.
Like, and he's not. And finally, I think one of them is like, you see the picture? He goes, yeah, I think it was a good placement. Nothing makes a British man shit like a picture of George Washington.
Oh, nice.
And like that makes me laugh. And it was like,
that's good.
I was like, I need a picture of George Washington in my guest bathroom. That's so funny.
I love that.
Right? Is that hilarious?
And that's very like firm-lipped British of them. So that's great.
Yeah, so funny. I love
That's
that
good.
story. And so I was like in my like half bath by the front door. I was like, I'm gonna
put a picture of George.
I need a picture of George Washington. This is very important to me.
I mean, I have a giant poster of Prince in my bathroom. So
You do,
yeah. So I feel you.
right?
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Where I was like, things
Sometimes
that
you
bring
just
me
need a
joy.
little-
We are fun people. We are having fun art.
No, I'm fully supportive of that. You know, as someone who hasn't had much fun in their life, and
Mm-hmm.
it's important to find the joy.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm learning the things that bring that joy beyond the people, of course, that hopefully are in our lives that do
Yeah.
that.
Well, yeah, those two.
Those are important, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, the relationships you make along the way or whatever.
All right, so we've covered kind of the gamut of Latin,
Language.
Greek language, stories, the Greek and the comic variety.
I can't
Did
believe
you
that
read
was worried
the
we weren't-
Chronicles of Narnia?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Shannara Chronicles was another one. Terrible.
Oh,
books.
you read the Shannara
Chronicles? Yeah, I
Is it
did.
not Shannara Chronicles, right? It's the Shannara. Yeah, is it
It's. I
Shannara?
think it's the Shannara Chronicles, but each book is like the sword of Shannara.
Oh
the
yeah,
something
yeah,
is-
that's what I'm thinking of. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you read Discworld?
No.
I never read Discworld.
Mm-mm.
Did you read Wizard's First Rule by Terry Goodkind?
I don't know. I mean, we both read Dresden Files. Obviously, we've talked about Dresden Files a lot.
If you haven't read the Dresden Files, go read the Dresden Files. There's a slow,
The
there's a
Magic Tree
slump
Trick?
somewhere like around book 7, maybe,
Mm.
but then picks back up.
Magic Treehouse kills it.
Didn't know that one. Magic Treehouse.
It was a kid's book.
Okay.
It was a kid's series where pretty much they had a magic treehouse and it was a brother and sister, and they like got yeeted to like different historical time periods, and it was like
Like the Magic School Bus, except stationary.
well, it wasn't stationary.
I mean,
They still transported to.
true.
It was a magic treehouse that transported through time.
True. Okay, fine.
So as long as there was a tree in history, they were able to get there, my man.
Argue. Oh, so it went from tree to tree. It didn't just like pop on the ground.
No, it
like,
went from tree to tree.
Okay, got it. It wasn't like the phone booth from Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
No.
What
reference.
was another
Strange
one
things
from
are
back
afoot
then?
at Circle K.
Yeah, you said something that made me think about your Dresden Files, and then we went to the treehouse. And the biscuits. I don't know. Oh, you know what? The movie, was it Spiderweb Chronicles? No, Bridge to Terabithia.
Oh.
Oh my god.
God.
Yo, I hadn't read the book. I watched the movie, and then I was just like,
Dude, Josh Hutcherson, man.
savage.
That's a tough movie.
I was not prepared for that movie to be as brutal as it was.
This is a tough one.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be this fantastical, happy thing. But going really just closing the loop here on this topic of conversation we had, going back to the movies and books. So I'd never read the Catching Fire.
Hunger Games.
Thank you. I never read the Hunger Games, right?
Hunger Games is good. I read those.
I had a good buddy of mine who was always telling me they're always going, you got to read the Hunger Games. I'm like,
You do?
I don't read the Hunger Games. It's going to be stupid.
I read the Hunger
Right?
Games like way before the movies came out too.
It was because that was like right when, like, I would almost say the precipice of when like young adult books became like real books. They weren't just like crap books.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I don't want to read a young adult's book. This is going to be stupid. So then I go and watch the first movie. And this is the first and only time this has ever happened in my entire life.
Made you want to read the book.
Yeah. And I literally left the movie theater and went and got the books.
And the books are better.
The books are better. The books are definitely
Yeah.
better. I will say, though, I will give tremendous credit to the directors and the film writers. They did a great job of adapting it to film.
Yes.
It
they did.
was one of the more true adaptations that I've seen. That was done very well.
Catching Fire was an intense movie. Like they did a really good
Well,
job.
so the only thing that I would say, and we just went back and watched these recently, and they're a little heavier than I remembered because I hadn't seen them in a long time. But I will say that like the epilogue from the third book, once they're back, was depressing as shit.
Yeah.
And I was just like, and then I went back and I realized like the books were written as a treatise basically on the effects of violence and warfare on children, right?
Yeah.
That's really what it was written about, right? And I was just like, oh, it all makes more sense now, right? But I was like, damn, it was like Ender's Game, the book, the actual,
I was gonna say-
not the show, not the movie,
No.
but the book. Was
No, that's one of the things I love
fucking
about the
brutal.
book so much because like this movie did not do a good enough job showing them that they're kids.
Oh yeah,
Like
little
Ender was
kids.
like 12.
Yeah, but
like,
when he
by the
first
time
started,
he
he was like
ended-
8.
yeah,
Yeah, he
by
was
the
like
time
7 or 8 or
Yeah,
something.
by the time
like
he
that when he
ended, like he was
Yeah.
going to battle school finally, like he was like 12.
Yeah.
And like that I often do not get hit by plot twists very hard. Like I even like fucking called like Usual Suspects before it happened, Kaiser Soze.
Oh, it's Kaiser Soze.
Like I called that shit.
Yeah.
I did not see the end of Ender's Game when they were like, it's not a game.
Yeah.
And I was like, holy fuck. Like, that was done so well.
Yeah. I love him, rate him. He wrote a good book.
Yeah.
I will say that.
He wrote a very good book.
Yeah, there's been only a few other times. I think I'm going to bring him up. Brando Sando. Not a lot of, I mean, he's a polarizing author nowadays because he's basically the closer. Like, everyone's been bringing him in to, like, finish their books and their movies and stuff. And he always comes in and is like, yeah, I'll do it for 3 more books. And anyways, very prolific writer. I like some of the stuff he's written. I don't like a lot of the stuff he's written. But I will say the first series I read by him was the Mistborn Hero of the Ages trilogy.
I've never read it.
Really good. One of the most unique takes on magic I had seen at the time when it first came out. That was still like really engaging. And that was the first time I think I had ever read a book, and I literally was standing yelling at the end of it because I didn't see it coming.
Yeah.
And because I'm saying, like, I usually pick up on, like, you know, oh, this is obvious, the plot, you know, like, okay,
yeah. There's an archetype, but there's a way to do this, yeah.
But holy shit, at the end of that series, and it's literally at the, like, end of the book, like, the book is over. Like, you think it's done, and then it's not done until, like, the last, like, 6 pages.
What's it called?
It's called, so the series is called the Hero of the Ages trilogy, but the first book's called Mistborn, and that's what most people call it, is the Mistborn series by Brandon Sanderson. It's like the first trilogy he produced, published, I think. And at the end of it, I literally was like, I distinctly remember I was reading the book, and I stood up. Thank God I wasn't on the train. I was at my house, my apartment, and I stood up, and I was like, oh my God, are you fucking kidding me? Like, I was like, holy shit. And I was like, but they could tell anybody about it. Because then I'm like,
and you'd ruin it.
I'd ruin it, right?
Yeah.
It was great. And then the funny thing was,
that's how I've had with the movie with Ender's Game, where I was like, don't watch the movie until you read the book.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Because like it'll ruin it in a way that like I cannot describe to you.
Yeah. And it was just renewed to me because my wife just read through the series and she had forgotten about it until she got to the end. Oh my God, I totally forgot blank blank blank. I was like, yeah. That's Ready Player One was another one like that. Ready Player One was good. The movie was also good, but like I treat them as 2 separate things.
Yeah.
Right? Like I feel like they did a great job with the IP as well as they could, but I tell people like you can read the book and watch the movie, and they're different experiences. You know, at least to me they are.
Yeah, I'm usually able to separate them. A lot of times, I've almost enjoyed watching the movie first because I can separate them better. Like, if you know what I mean. Like the
only thing I don't like about doing that though is I feel like I now form a bias about like I see the actor. And that can sell it or ruin it for me.
Yeah. I think that helps a little bit for me because I don't think I visualize very well when I read. Like, I don't really see characters super well, even if they give, like, descriptions. But, like, the movie almost always does not have as much as the book. So, like, if I read the book first and I watch the movie, I'm disappointed at things they forgot. But if I watch the movie, it's just, like, adding things to it.
Did you do that with the Divergent series?
Fuck the Divergent books, dude. I read the first one. I hated it.
Right. So that was my point. I was gonna say, like, to me, I tried that. I watched the first one and I thought, oh, this is gonna be
hated it. Oh my gosh. Something I remember. So gosh, I think
Hunger Games thing, and it wasn't for me. I went
back.
I never finished them.
Do you ever read The Fifth Wave?
No.
I read that for a book club when I was in like high school. I have never hated a main character in my life more than this chick. I could not finish this book. I could not wait till we like got back together to talk about it, and I just shit talked this chick for like an hour. I hated her so goddamn much. Fifth Wave sucks. Movie sucks. All of it terrible.
I'll do it. Yeah. So I don't remember if it was the movie adaptation or if it was the book. I think it was the book. The Maze Runner series.
Oh, I like the Maze Runner series.
One of those two. I don't remember if it was the movie or if it was the book, but one of them, I was like, the protagonist was just whiny the entire time. It was very annoying to me. The stories were good, but the protagonist was just whiny. I was like, stop whining. Just do something.
Yeah, I definitely.
Think it was the book. I think it was in the book.
I think it was the book too. I definitely think it was. Are you talking about the main character or like Teresa?
Yeah, it was like the main dude.
And the main dude, I can't remember his name, but I remember Teresa is the girl.
It was like a chump.
And she pissed me off too all the time.
Yeah.
Like, she used to drive me crazy. So I was like, Queen, we gotta get together. Like,
well, I mean, it's the same reason. Like, I guess I can't do horror movies.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it's way too predictable and too, like, I am a firm proponent as someone who's a writer, and like the suspension of disbelief that the author and the reader has a nonverbal contract of it's implied when you're reading any sort of like fiction, right? and it doesn't matter that your story has elves and dragons and fairies and whatever in it, right? That are obviously not attached to the world. There still has to, like the real world, right? Like they're not real. So clearly this is a suspension of disbelief already, but it's assumed because like the context and the way that you write the story and that you write the characters are still believable and they behave in a believable way, even if they're fantastic, right?
Yeah.
But the moment you diverge from that, there's a point where I'm just like, the bell curve does not keep going. I'm like, no, man, I'm out. You know, like you're asking too much for me as the reader. Like
Lovecraft reminds me of that a lot. Like Lovecraft writes the most like Whisper in Darkness, like absurd stuff, but like you, it's engaging and like you believe it like 100%. And you're like, do I think that like winged alien monsters are coming and like killing this man's dogs in the middle of the night?
Yeah.
No, I don't.
I think Lovecraft did a great job though of like letting the bad guy stay in the dark.
Yeah.
For a lot of it, right? That's like it was just the terror of the person at the unknown.
So he has really good ones. Whisper in Darkness, great. I just listened. So if you ever are really looking for like a good audiobook on YouTube, there's like H.P. Lovecraft stories, and the guy has like that old like news broadcaster kind of voice. You know what I'm talking about?
This just in.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he reads it, and it's great. Awesome. 10 out of 10.
I do those videos.
Yeah. Do you?
Yeah.
Love.
That's not me.
Give you
just
a like.
Kidding. Just kidding.
Yeah, but love those videos. Great way to listen.
Send me the link. I'll link it in the podcast.
Great way to listen to Lovecraft. But I just listened to the Dunwich Horror. That shit goes on forever. Holy fuck. That one is too long.
Yeah.
Like it could have ended right smack in the middle. And when they like spoiler alert, the like dogs got him, and right in the middle.
The book's been written since the 20s, but spoiler alert.
Spoiler, just in case. I mean,
somebody's probably gonna be like, well, actually, Dunwich Horror was written in 1937.
Yeah.
So,
but yeah,
me,
like
please.
when and you kind of find out he's like more monstrous than you thought. Also, this is the specific. I got in a fight with this with my boyfriend. They're describing this man as like 9 feet tall, and you're telling me a guard dog took him down. Sorry.
It was
This is a very niche topic, but that pissed me off. He died from a dog. He's 9 feet tall.
Dirty bites. Infection.
He died immediately. They killed him.
Well, if it goes, the femoral. That's another word I say wrong. Apparently, it's femoral. It's femoral, I guess.
No, it's femoral. I'm with you.
Oh, thank you. See, femoral. We're the femoral club.
The femoral
Put on a shirt.
I don't think I want to be that.
That's fine. That's all right. I have some H.P. Lovecraft board games. They're cool.
Yeah, Cthulhu.
Yeah, I got Mansions of Madness first edition and Arkham Horror, which is OG, old school. That's a notoriously, legitimately the worst rule book ever written in board gaming. Like it's known for that. It's like
really
so bad. Yeah,
that's awesome. Dude, my role in this life is showing up to family gatherings once a year, actually reading the rule book of whatever game they've been playing for the past like 2 years incorrectly, and then just winning.
Sick.
We did this last Christmas with Uno No Mercy.
Okay.
And I actually like read the rule book because they were just like making up their own rules for things, and I was like, well, that's not how this works. And I just crushed it. And I do it every time.
I love it.
And I'm like,
it's like a superpower.
It is. I was like, this is why my family only sees me once a year. I like show up, own everybody in some board game, leave, don't see him for another 6 months.
So the object lesson here is only play co-op games with you. Don't ever play versus games.
Correct. I will destroy you.
Sick. Let's do it. I could use you for Arkham Horror then because it's very hard.
Yeah, I'm down.
It's very easy to die.
Cool.
Yeah.
Nothing can kill me.
Okay. Well, with that bold statement of confidence, you've been listening. You're such a nerd. Ashley, thanks for hanging out with us and talking about pretty much everything.
Yeah, gladly.
And we'll catch you on the flippity flop.
Later.
Get it out of your system now.
Ah! Okay. Sorry, I screamed through yawns. Coke brand placement.
Klosthaler holiday brew,
Mm.
non-alcoholic. Also very hard to read.
you-
Gold font from a distance.
Have you tried Tom Holland's?
Yeah, barrel.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
Is it good?
Yeah. Go Brewing also has probably consistently the best beer. Like their IPAs, for instance, are like way better than they have any right to be.
Okay. Who's that?
Go Brewing. They're out of New York, maybe.
Okay.
I was surprised when I found out it was Vermont. I don't remember.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they're really good. Man, my gating is still not good. Too much. Why? Why are you doing that to me?
Is gating like gating walking? Like, is it like the space in between your words?
The space between your heart and mine.
I'm in the space.
That was my impression of Carter Bruford, the drummer for Dave Matthews.
I see we were singing different songs.
Were we? Wasn't that a Dave Matthews song?
No, I was singing
The space between.
I was singing The Space Between from Descendants. Disney Descendants.
Oh, yeah, I don't know that one.
Yeah, I guess your child is not old enough.
She is not. Hello. You son of a...
Son of a bitch.
Yeah, my noise gate's just gating me weird. Should have done this during sound check. You think if I was a professional, I would have done that, but...
I think we're still in sound check. Oh, no.
That's what you think. Yeah, so about that. All right, we'll just dial it down. It's fine. Everything's fine here. Give me that. All right, anyways, whatever. Sound check's over, everyone. Welcome to You're Such a Nerd, the Geek Variety Podcast, which I've already done a roll in, so I just did it a second time. Today we're joined by my buddy Ashley. We're going to be talking about all things stupid, because that's what we do. No, we have a topic. We'll keep you in mystery the entire time.
Yeah, let's see if we can figure out taking bets now.
Yeah, that's right. We're doing over under.
On if we're gonna do an over under on how long we're gonna stay on topic.
I mean, that realistically is probably the bigger challenge. Get close to your microphone. Here, let me just adjust that. Oh, God.
This is really good.
There you go.
I don't know. You're the one listening. Oh no.
Should have done this during sound check too.
I was playing with the fluffy part of it earlier. I might have fucked it up. I might be. Dude, if I got paid for that,
I mean, pays the bills.
I'd be fine with it.
Gets the job done.
Yeah.
Dum-dum. Anyways, Ash, what's up?
Not much. How are
Yeah,
you?
try not to hit the microphone the entire time with your bottle.
You can only ask so much of me.
Butter beer.
You can only ask so much of me.
You're right. I can only ask so much of you. This is right.
Yeah, so.
I'm going to have to edit that burp out later. That's great.
It was a good burp. 10
Thanks.
out of 10.
I appreciate it.
You're welcome.